right, Donnie, do me a favor, say your name and your favorite ice cream.
Donnie Cowart, chocolate.
No chocolate. Chocolate has been the consensus.
It's a runner thing. It's a lot of fun. And you know, like, while you're doing it, it's fun, but then you see the pictures and like, wow, that's cool. And like last year, like, Centrowitz is right behind me. I'm like, yeah. But it's definitely a fun atmosphere and a cool experience. I think, like, you always hear the phrase, like, you know, Eugene, Oregon is where track stars go to be rock stars. I think this is a meet where you can come and be a rock star. Like, the fans get into it. You know, there's people in the infield, there's people in the stands. It's just and it's a small venue, so the crowd is just right on top of you, and it gets really loud. And they put in some music to pump you up, and it's just that cool atmosphere that I think that track and field is missing, that the NBA has and the NFL has, and we need to create that more in track and field. I'm a big kids guy. Like, they get me pumped up. Like, whenever I go run a road race, I hang around to watch the Fun Run Mile, just because you see the pure passion of the sport, and you see it come out in their faces, and they're gritting their teeth and trying to sprint that last little bit. And that's what you got to remember. You got to get back to that as an elite and as a college athlete. You got to get back to why you love the sport. So when you're running down, they're announcing your name and you're running down and they got your pump up music and the kids are like, oh, give me a 5, give me a 5. Like, that's probably one of the coolest experiences at an event like this. And then the other one is probably the after party. Like, they throw an amazing after party, and it's just so welcoming and such a great chance to just meet everybody that puts this together. And makes this happen. Oh, everything, everything. Yeah, it's been all inclusive. It's been friends, it's been family, it's been a place to fit in, for sure. There's definitely been times where, like, you're in middle school and you're getting picked on a lot because you're the short kid, and you go to a track meet and you win, and you're like, nobody's picking on me here, you know, like, this is my place, this is where I belong. And that, it gave me a lot. I was cut from my JV basketball team, I was cut from my JV baseball team. Like, you're too small and you're not strong enough. Well, one of those I can work on, but the other one, I'm 31 years old and I'm not getting any bigger, right? Like, yeah, I'm still the same size I was as a high school or as a college fifth yearman. And so, like, it hurt getting cut from those teams, and the track team was open arms and welcoming, and it's taken me all over the world. I've been to some amazing places and met some amazing people, and my mom and I always talk about that and how that's been such a blessing in my life, to just, like, go meet all these amazing people, and I seem to just bump into the most amazing people somehow. Yeah, so it's been everything, for sure. It's my passion. It keeps the fire burning, for sure. Again, it goes back to, like, you see where that starts. You get a glimpse of what you must have looked like, how you must have wanted it so bad, and then you see yourself, like, working out now and doing things you couldn't even imagine, making the Olympic trials. Like, I've never even fathomed, right? Everybody dreams of making the Olympics, but you're like, oh man, that would be so cool if it happened. But, you know, with Crazy Running, it gives me a chance to give to those kids and allow them, foster their dreams, and allow them to realize, like, hey, I was in your shoes. I was a little 80-pound sophomore in high school that was, like, battling it out with everybody, and came from a small hometown that you'd never heard of, that had you know, a small population, and had a great track coach that just inspired me and shared his passion. And then, you know, I get to share that. I get to teach all these things I've learned, all these lessons I've learned along the way, and hopefully guide them to something that they want to turn it into, and showing them those things and those small tidbits to just really get better. A lot of times it's well planted beforehand. Like, maybe, for instance, in the Olympic trials in 2012, I had some mantras in my head that were just repeated over and over and over. And when I got to the line, I wasn't even thinking about those things. I was just thinking how happy I was to be there and to be on that line. And I remember looking in the crowd with just a big smile on my face, like, wow, this is an incredible moment. And then as soon as the gun goes off, it's cold execution, right? Like, I think Shalane Flanagan is the one that said that, I think. It's just, you know, do what you have to do. don't let your emotions get involved until the very end of the race, right? Like the last 100 meters, the last 200 meters, that's when you let all the emotions out and let that really take over for you. But until then, right, it's got to be very cold, very calculated. You got to put yourself where you need to be, execute the game plan, no matter what everybody else is doing, going out like a banshee or going out slow. You've got to know your game plan, know your best strategy. And I think the best way to for me, it's always been, okay, let's do what we've already done. Let's put ourselves in a position to do what we've already done. And then once we're there, now it's just, okay, everything else from here is bonus. If we put ourselves in that pack to be in the hunt, everything else from here on, if I finish 5th, great, I finished 5th before. Now let's see if we can get a little bonus from that. See if we can finish 4th. Let's see if we can finish 3rd. Those sort of mentalities. I don't know. It's a tough feeling to describe. I mean, you work so hard for these moments, and you don't get them very often. And especially in the elite level, whether it's a steeple or a 15 or a 5K or whatever the race is, the cross country race, you don't get them often. So when you do get a win, and if you get a win, they're big moments. No matter what the race, no matter who the competition, like they're always fun, and it's fun to win. And that's what I always tell the kids and the athletes I work with is like, yeah, it's fun to win. And once you get a taste of that, like you'll want to do it more. Just being competitive and winning's not everything, but having your goals and always being able to walk away with perspective and saying like, okay, I didn't win, but I checked off a lot of the boxes, right? Like let's walk in with 3 major goals, and if we can check 2 of them off, like it's still a really productive day. That feeling of coming down the home stretch and you can just hear everybody like pouring it on because somebody's right on your heels and you're able to hold them off. Like, man, that's a feeling that gets me a little chill. It gets me a little riled up right now.